Hey guys, we are done with the UEFA Champions League match day 1. In this video, I'm going to break down everything that happened on match day 1. I'm going to give you guys the results of all the 19 games that took place on match day 1 from Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. In this same video, I am going to show you guys how the UEFA Champions League table is already looking like after match day 1. In this same video, you guys are going to know the best 4 players that were chosen for the UEFA Champions League player of the week in this video. So if this is the first time you are coming across my YouTube channel, I will appreciate if you can hit the thumb up to the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you watch the video carefully till the end. Now let us jump into it. The first UEFA Champions League game of this season was a game between Atletico Bilbao versus Arsenal, where the game ended 2-0 in favor of Arsenal. Arsenal won this game, and the 2 goals were scored by players coming from the bench, Martinelli and Trossard. These were the 2 players that scored the 2 goals for Arsenal in this game. Another game that was played at the same time as that of Atletico Bilbao versus Arsenal was a game of PSV Eindhoven versus Union Saint-Gilloise, where Union Saint-Gilloise defeated PSV Eindhoven 3-1 at home. And by evening, 4 games were played. Benfica versus Karabakh. Benfica suffered a defeat at home versus Karabakh, meaning Karabakh defeated Benfica in their own field, in their own stadium, 3-2. And the funniest thing in this game is Benfica scored those 2 goals in the first 15 minutes of the game, and from nowhere, Karabakh came from behind and scored 3 goals to grab all the 3 points of the first UEFA Champions League game of the season. Another game was that of Juventus versus Borussia Dortmund. To me, this was the UEFA Champions League game of match day 1. There was no UEFA Champions League game that was more interesting than this one, because when you take a look at this game, the first 45 minutes of the game ended 0-0. The second 45 minutes of the game, Borussia Dortmund scored, Juventus equalized, Borussia Dortmund scored again, Juventus equalized, Borussia Dortmund scored the 3rd goal, scored the 4th goal, and during the additional minute, Juventus scored 2 goals, and at the end, the game ended 4-4. Real Madrid versus Marseille was also another interesting game of that day, where Real Madrid defeated Olympique de Marseille 2-1, thanks from a brace from Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe transformed 2 penalties, and those penalties gave Real Madrid all the 3 points. Tottenham versus Villarreal was the final game of that Tuesday, where Tottenham defeated Villarreal 1-0. A mistake from the goalkeeper, because Bergvall did not even know he was going to score that ball. He just crossed the ball into the box, and then Villarreal goalkeeper instead took the ball and scored an own goal. So at the end of the day, Tottenham defeated Villarreal 1-0. And the funniest thing is that all Spanish clubs that played on that day against Premier League teams suffered a defeat, because Atletico Bilbao suffered a defeat against Arsenal, Villarreal suffered a defeat against Tottenham. And now when you take a look at the games that took place on Wednesday, Olympiacos played against Pafos and the game ended 0-0. Slavia Prague played against Bodo Glimt. The game ended 2-2. That was the first games that were played in the afternoon. By evening, Ajax played against Inter Milan, where Inter Milan defeated Ajax 2-0. And all of those 2 goals came from Marcus Thuram. And the other game of that same evening was a game of Bayern Munich versus Chelsea. Bayern Munich defeated Chelsea 3-1. A brace from Hurricane. The only goal that Chelsea scored was scored by Cole Palmer, and there was an own goal scored by Chalobah that gave Bayern Munich all the 3 goals. Liverpool versus Atletico de Madrid was also another UEFA Champions League game of the day. First 5 minutes of the game, Liverpool scored 2 goals, and from nowhere, Llorente scored 2 goals to equalize the game. 89 minutes, the game was almost getting to an end. From nowhere, Virgil van Dijk came and scored the winning goal that gave Liverpool all the 3 points at home. Paris Saint-Germain versus Atalanta. I don't think Paris Saint-Germain is slowing down. They are the UEFA Champions League. They are the European champions. Let me take it that way. Paris Saint-Germain are the European champions, but they are not slowing down. They played this game against Atalanta in the absence of Ousmane Dembélé, their best player, Desiré Doué, one of their best players, and they still defeated Atalanta 4-0. In that game, Bacola missed a penalty in that game. The first goal was scored by Marquinhos. Nuno Mendes scored in this game. Vareskela scored in this game, and Gonzalo Ramos also scored in this game. And now when you take a look at the 6 games that took place yesterday, Thursday, Club Brugge played the first game of the day against Ice Monaco, defeated Ice Monaco 4-1, and Ansu Fati came on during around the 70-something minute and played his first game as an Ice Monaco player. In his first game, he scored a lone goal for Ice Monaco yesterday. Copenhagen shared points with Bayer Leverkusen at home, so the game between Copenhagen and Bayer Leverkusen ended 2-2. And in this game, Grimaldo scored another free kick again. Remember, in the Bundesliga this weekend, Grimaldo scored a brace of free kick this weekend, and yesterday against Copenhagen, he scored another free kick again that helped Bayer Leverkusen grab their first UEFA Champions League point of the season. By evening, Frankfurt defeated Galatasaray 5-1. This is actually the game that surprised many of us because nobody knew Galatasaray were going to suffer a defeat against Frankfurt. But at the end of the day, Frankfurt defeated them 5-1. Manchester City defeated Napoli 2-0. In this game, Napoli captain Di Lorenzo was sent off during the first 45 minutes of the game, and the moment they sent him off, they substituted Kevin De Bruyne to replace him with a defender. So at the end of the day, Manchester City defeated Napoli 2-1. Newcastle suffered the defeat against FC Barcelona 2-1 thanks to a brace from Marcus Rashford. The final game was that of Sporting CP versus Kara Almaty, where Sporting CP defeated Kara Almaty 4-1. Oh boy, the UEFA Champions League was interesting. And now we're done with the UEFA Champions League match one. We take a look at the UEFA Champions League table now. Frankfurt is still at the top of the table. They scored 5 goals and considered just 1. They're still at the top of the table. We have Paris Saint-Germain also still at the top of the table. Paris Saint-Germain occupying the second spot, Club Brugge third spot, Sporting CP fourth spot, Union Saint-Gilloise fifth spot, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, and Inter Milan. So those are the top 8 spots. Remember, the UEFA Champions League is in such a way that the top 8 are going to qualify for the round of 16, and from number 9 to number 24 are going to play playoff games. When you take a look at from number 9, Manchester City, Karabakh, Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Tottenham, Borussia Dortmund, Juventus. Let me end with Tottenham because these are the clubs that are having 3 points now. Dortmund is having just 1 point, Juventus 1 point, Bodo Glimt 1 point, Bayer Leverkusen 1 point, Copenhagen 1 point, Slavia Prague 1 point, Olympiacos 1 point, Pafos 1 point, and Atletico de Madrid 0 point because they suffered a defeat to Liverpool. Benfica 0 point, Marseille 0 point, Newcastle 0 point, Villarreal 0 point, Chelsea 0 point, PSV Eindhoven 0 point, Ajax 0 point, Atletico Bilbao 0 point, Napoli 0 point, Kara Almaty 0 point, Monaco 0 point, Galatasaray 0 point, and Atalanta 0 point. Now 4 players were being nominated for the player of match day 1. Marcus Thuram, who scored 2 goals for Inter Milan against Ajax. Marcus Rashford, who scored 2 goals for Barcelona against Newcastle. Dusan Vlahovic, who scored 2 goals for Juventus against Borussia Dortmund. And also Trincao, who scored 2 goals against Kara Almaty for Sporting CP. And my question is, who do you think deserves the award of the UEFA Champions League Player of the Week? Because it is very difficult predicting right now. It is very difficult. We all have to wait to see because there are many players that scored braces this weekend. Kylian Mbappe scored a brace, Harry Kane scored a brace, and these other 4 players that I've just listed to you guys. So let me know who you think it deserves the award of the UEFA Champions League Player of match 1. No matter the player, even if the player is not among this top 4, just let me know the player that you think deserves to win the UEFA Champions League Player of match 1. And to all of you that have been asking, who do I think is going to win the UEFA Champions League this season? Who do I think is going to win the UEFA Champions League this season? I think we are done with match day 1, and from match day 1, you guys have seen a lot of character from players, clubs, and coaches, right? So who do you think deserves to win the 2026 UEFA Champions League? Guys, I've come to the end of my video. I'm not going to go further than this, and if this is the first time you have come across my YouTube channel, I will appreciate if you can hit the thumb up to the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and most importantly, you share the video to 1 to 2 people. You tell me what you think about this video. You know, I'm just an upcoming football analyst. I've just recently started, right? Meaning I'm open to mistakes. I can make mistakes. If there is any place in this video, right, any point in this video where I made a mistake, just help me correct the mistake so I can get myself better in the next video, and you're going to love it. See you guys until my next video.